Anyway, a lot of people are saying Tucker Carlson is a giant, which he is true. Fox's share price fell almost 3% on Monday following host Tucker Carlson's departure, which makes sense. I mean, they lost their biggest talent, marking the network's worst day in a run of losses since it settled with Dominion. Last week, company share price fell below $30 per share on Monday, down roughly 4.5% since the start of the month. That compares to a modest gain for the broader S&P 500 index over the same period. Yeah, it's wild. But we know. I mean, we don't know what will happen to him. But, you know, after fucking leaving Fox News, these guys don't actually have like a blossoming media career. Look no further than Glenn Beck. You know, the Blaze is propped up by right-wing billionaires, but ultimately not great. Is always in a state of like dire circumstances financially. Unless they go to like unless they leave Fox News because they're too moderate and then they get a cushy liberal media job, you know, they're kind of cooked. Look at Bill O'Reilly, the one-time host for Fox News show The O'Reilly Factor, was fired in 2017 amid a sexual harassment scandal. Mr. O'Reilly now hosts No Spin News, a political opinion podcast that ranks number 71 in Apple's top podcast charts for news shows in the United States, according to Chartable. Like, that's awful. The site had a total 1.2 million visits last month, his site. Fox News' flagship news site had 329 million visits during the same period. He also used to have like 2 million viewers a night. You know what I mean? 2 million plus viewers a night. So it's just, you know, you definitely do fall off after that platform is removed from under you. So we'll see what happens. He could get a job at the Daily Wire, possibly. So we'll figure out what happens there. But Murdoch is said to be concerned over Carlson's coverage of the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol, which could be true. I mean, Murdoch is a bit of a fucking old, annoying lib. Here's what Charlie Kirk has to say. We got to do a little bit of hogwatch here to see what the conservative ecosystem has like been chirping about. I'm sure people are blaming like the woke left for his firing or some shit, even though it was Fox News that fired him. But let's hear what Charlie Kirk is saying.
Last piece of advice for young people: get married.
Yeah, get married and have a ton of kids. I mean, get married when you're too young, have more kids than you can afford, take a job you're not qualified for, live boldly, stop getting high, stop doing anything that blurs your vision or makes time go faster. You're going to die before you know it. Don't waste a second. That's the sin, is living thoughtlessly and wasting time. It's the one thing you can't get back. I've wasted a lot of money in my life. Oh my gosh. I don't care. I don't regret any of it. Every room service meal was worth it. It was fine. But any time that I wasted is really bitter for me.
Yeah, of course he wasted a lot of fucking money. He's been profoundly rich his whole goddamn life. Like, that's not for you, little one. You better chill out now. You better go back to sleep.
Because it's finite. And so live as fully as you can. And you can't control all this stuff that's going on. You can't control what Google does. And honestly, they're going to win. Like, the powers that be will win, at least in the short term. Ultimately, they'll all blow up. But like, we're powerless and hated. I think this myself all the time. Are they going to crush me? Oh, yeah. Okay. But in the meantime, you know, I want to experience.
Why are you so liberal? I am not.
My life as fully as I possibly can. And I think that starts with having like a ton of kids, like way more than like Mormon levels of kids. I mean that.
This graph is telling. One of the more extraordinary graphics in the New York Times lengthy profiles of Tucker Carlson. He used to relish debating his guests. The conversation, though, grew strikingly one-sided. Out of the nearly 7,000 guest appearances, about 1,000 of them highlighted in yellow contradicted Mr. Carlson. Each dot represents an appearance. Gray dots are guests who largely agreed with Mr. Carlson. It's for sure just the video clips that you're showing that have a delay. Your camera has no delay. How big is the delay? Send me a clip. Here's Robert Kennedy Jr., anti-vaxxer, blaming Big Pharma, running for president, by the way. Fox fires Tucker Carlson 5 days after he crossed the red line by acknowledging the TV networks pushed a deadly and ineffective vaccine to please their pharma advertisers. Carlson's breathtakingly courageous April 19 monologue broke of TV's biggest rules. Oh, it's about 1.5 to 2 seconds. What did I fucking do last time? No, it isn't. It's like 0.25 seconds. Okay. Like 2 hours, but I'm on mobile. Yeah, okay. Anyway, the content he lambasted obsequious newscaster for promoting jabs. They need to be lethal and worthless. For many years, Tucker has had the nation's biggest audience, averaging 3.5 million, 10 times the size of CNN. Fox just demonstrated the terrifying power of Big Pharma. Yeah, I don't think that's the case, man. Tucker Carlson's been doing anti-vaccine propaganda that was significantly more effective than whatever he did on that coverage for, an entire goddamn year. So you're delusional if you think that that is the one time. Can you give talking points for the Cleopatra documentary? In the Greek hyper online communities created tons of right-leaning kids due to the blackwashing. What? I have no idea what that is, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. And also the concept of blackwashing sounds insane. Yeah, I just don't know what you mean by that. There's a Netflix documentary with Cleopatra being a black woman. What?